everybody, I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. And today we're here to reflect on the Seaborn Kipper divination cards written by Thomas Witholt with art by Ciolo Thompson. I'm very excited about receiving this deck because I only have two other Kipper decks, and I have been looking into getting into Kipper. So I started, getting into Kipper is probably a strong term. I've been reading the guidebooks that came with my Kipper decks, finally. And shuffling the cards and trying to use them. That's what I've been doing. I'm trying to learn Kipper. I'm on year one. I am brand new, but I'm excited, and I think I can figure it out because it's going to work in a very similar way to Lenormand and other fortune telling style decks. Like I've been practicing with playing cards over the past year, so this sort of thing should fit right in with that. And I just want to start. I want to start working with Kipper. So when they asked me if I wanted to review this, I was like, yes, please. I definitely would like to add another one because I find that, as a collector, I like to look at different types of decks when I'm working with something. I don't want to just use the same one over and over again. That's just me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Of course, everybody knows that you can just use one, but I like to look at different things. So it's nice to have another Kipper deck in my collection. And I'm really glad that I got this one because the book for this has it's been helpful to me as far as like on my new journey of Kipper, of learning Kipper. This is my first deck from Ciolo Thompson and her artwork, and I enjoy it quite a bit. It's very soft and inviting and sweet, and this one is a little bit quirky and a little sort of a non-binary feel to some of the people that I kind of enjoy. There's a lot of people in a Kipper deck, so to have one that feels so free and open, I like that. I like that about it because Kipper is it's very straightforward, and I'm not that type of straightforward style reader. So this one gives me more room to play, and I appreciate it. I just appreciate it because that's the way I like to read. So so I like these cards a lot. We'll take a closer look at them. Of course, this is the box. This is a Llewellyn style box, but it's a little bit different. Because it's small, it's teeny. This is the size of, let me show you. This is a tarot card, regular size tarot card. So you can see, I probably should get one without like here we go. Is that easier to see? Let me get one without here's one. So this is a normal size tarot card, and you can see that it's not much larger than a normal size tarot card. This is the smallest box I've ever gotten from Llewellyn. This book is the same height as this tarot card and just a little bit wider. So that gives you a size. These are bridge size cards. So they're bridge size. So if you know bridge playing cards, that's the size these are. They're the same height as a normal playing card, but a little bit more narrow than a normal playing card. I don't have one here to show you, but up against the tarot card, you can kind of see. So it says, a beautiful blending of worlds, identities, and divination. From best-selling artist Ciolo Thompson comes a fortune-telling deck like no other. Based on the historic Kipper system, this whimsical set features ethereal aquatic life and genderqueer merpeople who reveal deep insights about yourself, your life, and the people impacting it. The companion guide blends old and new divination methods, creating a modern approach that focuses on personal identity and self-development. With Ciolo's signature watercolor style and Thomas Witholt's masterful insights, Seaborn Kipper stands out in an ocean of other decks. This little book has quite a bit of insight inside. This is Thomas and Ciolo. I have had Ciolo Thompson's Winter Sears deck on my radar since it came out pretty much, and I've been pretty interested, and I'm probably going to pick it up at some point, but I haven't done it yet. But this is my first one from her, and I really like her artwork, so might be going down the rabbit hole. We'll see. So it says, imagine standing at the edge of a boundless sea, looking out over the waves coming and going in peaceful tides. Feel your toes digging into the bleached sand to find coolness beneath the surface while the sun warms your face from the pale sky above. Hear the seabirds cry as they fly over the water and imagine all they must see from their vantage. It's a swath of teal and navy, of indigo and turquoise, and it is teeming with life. It's almost impossible to imagine from the shore, but there you are, imagining it anyway. Now let yourself dive into those waves. Feel yourself transform into the integral part of this underwater world. Become Seaborn. The old system of Kipper is inherently more intimate and personal than better known traditions. Yes, Tarot Lenormand and Oracle decks can all be used similarly, but it often requires translation and metaphor. The High Priestess may signal inner knowing, but she's still the priestess of a mystery tradition on her surface. In contrast, Kipper is direct in its everyday insight. The traditional deck includes cards such as living room, thoughts, and expectation. There are cards representing significant external factors, but the Kipper system offers direct access to our private worlds. With Kipper, the personal and intimate is not just a way of reading the cards, it is the way. That kind of personal depth and vulnerability spelled out in a large spread of cards before you might make might be intimidating, but Ciolo's paintings are as playful as they are earnest. For the modern oracle, direct access to our private worlds is priceless. So the Seaborn Kipper is structured around the traditional cards of Kipper, but what was old and sometimes dour has been revitalized. What was complex and unfamiliar has been made more accessible. Traditional Kipper readers will find that the Seaborn Kipper works seamlessly for their system, and we've made the fluid, intimate, and intuitive waters of Kipper more open to everyone with this adaptation. Sorry, the way that this book is bound, the words wrap under this seam here, so sometimes it's hard for me to see what the letters are. The deck is designed to be useful right out of the box, long before you're ready to dive into the deep. This book offers plenty of guidance to get you started on reading the cards individually and in spreads, but there are affirmations and reflective questions to help you find comfort with your inner depths, even when you don't want to read the cards. And that is true. It talks about the system of Kipper. It gives a lot of information on how Kipper cards are meant to be read. And then it also offers you, so it talks about the numbers, the motifs, how to lay the cards out, ways to string them together. It gives you some this is the practice section. This is the section I need to listen to. I need to be practicing. It gives you how to perform a reading, where to start, the layouts, gives you some spreads, the cross spreads. The Kipper has stop cards and specific cards that you need to know about and use, and it talks about all of that. Um, it also gives this section on the one card reflection, which is, I think, particular to this deck. I have not seen it in another. I only have two other Kipper decks, so I'm not really like the expert on Kipper here. I told you I just started doing it like a couple of months back. So this is, but from what I understand, this is specific to this deck. And it says, like, when you don't have a question or don't want to read the cards in a traditional way, you can still connect with your Seaborn Kipper cards meaningfully. You can pull a single card and look up the card energy. And there you'll find thought-provoking questions from the deep to prompt you to journal or simply contemplate some deep aspect of that card and its relation to your life. Or you may choose to recite the affirmation provided for that card instead. So it's a way to turn the cards into like an oracle deck if you're not feeling a Kipper reading today, in other words. And then it goes into interpreting the cards, and it talks specifically about the cards. Sometimes it'll tell you kind of how they go with other cards. And then here's the questions from the deep section. There's a significant amount of questions for each card, and then one or two affirmations. So we're going to I'll just put this here if you want to pause it and read it for yourself. But I am going to read one later. I'll pick a couple cards and we'll read from them. But we want to take a look. The back is just the conclusion and how to find the authors if you want to read. Oh, there's an artist process too. So if you're curious to see how the art was created, I love this kind of stuff because I'm always wondering, like, is it watercolor? Like, what kind of paper? So she says it's a 90-pound Canson watercolor paper with Winsor and Newton watercolor pigments. I mean, she tells you what you need to know if you're the type of person who wants to know that kind of stuff, because I am kind of a little bit of a nerd. And this one, this little book is great, and I want to read from it later. But let's look at the cards. So with Kipper, how you count the cards, how you lay the cards, and how the cards are facing are important. I think it's like that in a lot of. It depends on how you read your cards, I guess, but especially for Kipper. So they've given us 2 principal 1 cards that are facing the same way, right? And then you get 2 principal 2 cards that are also facing the same way. So that way, no matter how you mix principal 1 and principal 2, you get a couple that can look at each other, because they need to be able to look at each other if they at some point, right? If the relationship is going well, they need to have the ability to look at each other. So that's what you get there. You get a marriage card, and here's meeting. There's wise one and caring one. Letter and false person. Change and journey. Win lots and playful one. Ambitious one and sad news. Success in love and thoughts. Gift and child. Funeral and house. Living room, be a bit cute, and military, which is just like the remnants of a military under the water, right? Courthouse. I love these little images. And theft. I think that they're sweet and fun and playful and interesting. And it's different from any other. I only have 2 other ones, but one of them is very traditional. It's Kipper. It's Ciro Marchetti, so it's his art style, but it's the traditional style. And then I have one that is silhouettes. It's the Tony Savory one, Tony Poole, and oh my goodness, what's the guy's name? He did the Spirit Within and the Inner Eye Oracle. Stephen Bright. And then I have this one. So they're very different. All of the artwork is different. The styles are different, and the way that they've depicted the cards, and it's nice. Murky Thoughts and Work. Long Way and Hope. There's the back again. All right, let's give them a shuffle and read from the guidebook. So this cardstock is a matte sort of cardboardy stock. It's different from the other Llewellyn decks that you're used to. I feel like, don't get me to lying, but I feel like I might have one Llewellyn deck that has this type of cardstock, like an older one, but it might not be quite this matte. But it shuffles easily. There's no board, there's no core. So you will need to like bridge or shuffle both ways if you don't want your cards to get bent in one direction. But that's easily remedied by just, if you can't bridge, just shuffling them this way, or not riffle shuffling them at all. That would that would stop the situation pretty easily, right? All right, so we have caring one. So let's look at number 6. I'm going to zoom you in because these are small cards. So I want to make sure you can see. Look how beautifully that matches my background. We love a good aesthetic. Okay, so let's look at caring one. They're numbered, so they're super easy to, here, hang on. You can take a screenshot if you would like. Sorry, I have to fight with this book. So it says older woman. So they give you keywords right up front, which is nice. So if you don't want to read all of this, you don't have to. You can just read the keywords. But this, if for someone like me who's new, I'm definitely reading all of this every time I pull a card. And he gives some really good insight into how to think about the card in different ways. Because most of them talk about like if it's in front of the principal or if it's behind the principal, sort of how it means. Because Kipper is directionality is really important. I think I have them all shuffled in here, but we're just going to use this one for now, so that you can have like a visual while we read here. So it says caring one represents a nurturing and supportive older person in the querent's life. They are typically an important feminine presence, such as a mother, grandmother, or female boss. Whatever their gender, They usually offer comfort, guidance, and a ready smile. Their experience and insight can be a source of great happiness and support, and the person they represent or the care they provide is positive if in front of the principal. But caring one can turn negative and intrusive behind the principal, and they can quickly become overly critical or smothering. Caring one is one of 4 primary character cards in the deck, other than the 2 principals, 1 and 2. Caring one is typically an older figure whose loving support complements the wise one, often as their literal partner. The querent may choose to associate this character with anyone who fits this description. They can be older, more experienced, or a mature version of Principal 2. Questions from the deep. Where do I need to show more care and compassion to others? What can I do to bring more happiness into my life? How would my future self look back at my current troubles as future growth? And then the affirmation is, I support and I am supported by my loved ones. So Thomas talks a lot about like how they work together as a set of cards and which cards go together. Like he was saying that, this one can be the older version of Principle 2 if you want them to be, or if that's how they fall in the set. I like the way that sometimes he talks about, okay, this can give several, especially for the people cards, several types of people they could be. Several types of situations they could come across. There's a lot. I mean, they could be representing. There's a lot in this little bitty book. So I've been enjoying reading it and trying to just kind of play with it. Like I've just been like reading it and moving the cards around and trying to put it together. But this has been really helpful for me to kind of see how the cards link together and how they work together. Okay. So just in case you want to see it all laid out in a tableau, let's see how many we can get in the frame. Because I know whenever I watch Tony Savory's videos, she reads Kipper in tableaus, like whole grand tableaus. So, which is probably really helpful, to be honest, because Kipper is so specific to like directions, and it's the same way with Lenormand when you're reading in a tableau, I suppose. That's kind of what it would look like all laid out. So that's my opinion of this deck. I've really, like I said, the power of this one is in the guidebook, but I've really been enjoying these soft images, especially for this time of year. And I'm excited to just kind of be using this one for the summer and spring, because this is it's a beautiful deck. It's really pretty artwork, soft and quirky and interesting to look at. Backs are beautiful. There's nothing there. I have no complaints. My only complaint with this deck is this book is I have to fight with it. But I will say this, I've been fighting with it and I've been fighting with this binding and it has not fallen apart on me. So it's well made. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe. I release videos every few days regarding tarot and oracle. I know this deck has been out for some time. I think it was an indie deck even before it was a mass market deck. So if you have it and you've been using it, let me know what you think about this book. I'm impressed by this guidebook, and I love these cute little images. I'm excited to continue to use this. You'll probably see me using it on my Insta. So check out the description box below if you want to find me on Instagram. The information is always down there. I'm also going to put down there a link, an Amazon affiliate link where you can pick this deck up if you're interested. I always put Amazon affiliate links down there because I'm an Amazon affiliate. And when you guys use those links, it doesn't cost you anything and it gives me a couple of cents. So it's helpful to me. Those cents add up after a while. And I really appreciate anybody who's buying from Amazon and using those links. There's also the opportunity to pick this up directly from Llewellyn. They always have great sales. So if you're into sales like I am, check them out as well. And that's it. So until I see you guys next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.